Welcome to Magic Loops Docs, teaching you how to get the most out of Magic Loops. In this video, we'll go over the Magic Loops dashboard. I'll briefly introduce each section one by one, starting off with creating a loop. Here, you can type in a prompt to automate a task. For example, send me an email every morning at 9 a.m. with a motivational quote. Hit enter. And Magic Loops will create an outline of all the subtasks that we need to create our automation. First of all, we need a time trigger. And secondly, we need to make a call to an LLM. And lastly, we need to send the result in the form of an email to ourselves. This looks good, so I'll hit this orange button at the bottom here. And Magic Loops is going to go ahead and write the code for each one of these subtasks. And once it finishes, I can go ahead and activate the loop. So tomorrow at 9 a.m., I will get an email in my inbox with a motivational quote. I can scroll down to the bottom to see what the output will look like. It is success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. So profound. This will not actually send it to our email right now. Remember, it's sending at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and it will do this repeatedly for eternity until we turn it off. If you want to check it out right now, you can click this Run Now button in the upper right-hand corner, and you can go ahead and receive the email. So it's going to go ahead and run our automation again, or otherwise known as a loop. And success is not the absence of failure, but the persistence to rise after every fail. I feel very motivated now. So now you can go ahead and check your email if you are following along, and make sure to look in your spam or junk folder, and make sure to add in Magic Loops to your trusted senders so it goes directly into your inbox. That is all for creating a loop, aka an automation, by using a prompt. Let's go back to the dashboard and let's focus in on the left-hand side of the screen over here. You will see that there is a plus bar. This is another way to make a loop in Magic Loops, and this is a manual loop. You are no longer using a prompt, but rather you're creating each subtask yourself. So you can add more subtasks. These are called blocks. And if you want to learn more about this, you can go ahead and click the video link that has appeared in the upper part of the video frame. Let's go back to the dashboard once again. And let's go ahead and look at this next section here where it says templates. Templates are loops created by the Magic Loops team or other Magic Loops users who have chosen to make their loops public. Let's click the See More button to view what templates are in the template library. You can scroll through a list of pre-made loops here, or at the top, you can run a search with a keyword, for example, stock, to see what we can automate in the stock space. So here are ways other people are using Magic Loops to automate tasks dealing with stocks. You can click on any one of these template loops in the template library. I'm going to go ahead and click on this OpenAI Daily News. You'll see that there's a description of the loop here. Create a loop that runs every morning at 9 a.m. and grabs news articles from the news API about that company from the last 24 hours. If I want, I can run it to see what the output will be. So I can see here that it will send an email with news about OpenAI. I can also customize this loop. You'll see in the configuration up here, there's a variable called company name, and they've written in OpenAI. I can change this to something like Anthropic. I can go ahead and run it again. And you'll see now that it's grabbed news about Anthropic rather than OpenAI. I can go ahead and use this loop by clicking on this blue button in the upper right-hand corner. I can change the name from OpenAI to Anthropic Daily News, duplicate the loop, and I'll need to change the variable name here again. And I can go ahead and activate it, and it will run in my account now. If you want more information about how to use the loops in the template library and how to customize them for your own use cases, you can go ahead and click the video link in the upper portion of the video. Back on the dashboard, the next section is My Loops. Here you can see the most recent loops you have created. For example, we can see the Anthropic Daily News that we just copied over from the template library. And you'll be able to see that it's a draft, meaning that it is not active. We can go down here and see that that daily motivation one that we made at the beginning of this video is active. So it will be sending me an email every day. Let's click the See All button. Here we can see all the different loops that we have created, and we can get a quick overview of whether or not it's active or inactive. You can scroll through all the ones that you've made. You can go ahead and click on one, and it will bring you in to the loop itself. And if you want to edit it, you can click deactivate. Once it's deactivated, you can go ahead and edit and activate it again if you wish. Back on the dashboard, there's another section called Runs. In Runs, you can get a quick overview of all your active loops that have executed most recently. You can also see if they have run successfully or not. So if there is one that has not run successfully, you can go ahead, click into that to troubleshoot. Now, the main difference between My Loops and Runs is that My Loops has all of the loops you have created, regardless if they are active or not, whereas the Run section only has the loops that are active. Let's click See All to see all the active loops that I have. They are listed chronologically, starting with the most recent loop that was executed. The most recent loop I have run is a React quiz. You can go ahead and see the date and the time that it was executed, how many credits it costs, and whether it was successful or not. The My Run section is particularly useful if you want to know how many credits each loop is costing you each time it runs. If you are burning through credits, you can come here to see if there are any loops that are costing too much. And on the topic of credits, if you need more credits, you can go to the upper right-hand corner and click on your credits number. And you will get a list of additional plans that you can upgrade to get more credits. Back on the dashboard, the next section is blocks. Blocks are subtasks. When you use many blocks together, they comprise a loop. Blocks and loops are two fundamental concepts to automating tasks in Magic Loops. Let's click inside of blocks here, and you can read a bit more information about them. We're going to focus on the default blocks here. And we can see that there are all these different types of blocks divided into three different categories: triggers, content, and notifications. You can think of blocks like Lego blocks and loops like your Lego creation, such as the final product, like a train or a house. Imagine you want to build a Lego castle. You need to get different types of pieces, such as some gray bricks, some windows, some doors, a flag, and more. Each one of these pieces you can think of as a block. They serve a different purpose. In Magic Loops, blocks can scrape the web for information, such as getting prices of a PlayStation 5 from different websites. Blocks can interact with an LLM to write something for you. For example, the LLM could give you a summary of the stores that have the PlayStation 5 in stock and the corresponding price at that store. Blocks can also be used to send an email or a text. So you could use a block to take the summary about the PlayStation 5 consoles and send it to yourself or to your best friend to give a subtle hint about what you want for your birthday. And also being mindful of that you want to help them save some money. There are these pre-made blocks here, like I mentioned, like triggers for time, sending an email, a hook, etc. You can scrape the web, you can have it write code, make a call to a large language model, and you can also have it send different notifications. One of the great things about Magic Loops, just like Lego, is that you can take blocks and connect them in creative ways to create whatever it is you want to. So, that is a brief overview about blocks and how they fit into loops. Remember, blocks are like Lego pieces, and loops are like the final creation. For more information about blocks, you can click the video link above. Back on the dashboard, let's go ahead and focus our attention on the left sidebar. At the bottom, there is a question mark icon that will take you to the Help and Resources page. Here, you can join our communities such as Discord, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can also give us feedback. You can learn more about magic loops through the documentation, which should be up and running by the time you watch this video. And you can browse more YouTube tutorials that help you make really cool automations to free up your time. That is all for the overview of the Magic Loops dashboard. If you want to learn more about Magic Loops, make sure to go to the Help and Resources to look at the documentation and watch more helpful videos. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to contact us from the Help and Resources page as well. We would love to help you so you can begin automating tasks using Magic Loops. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.